progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. The moment we want to believe something, we suddenly see all the arguments for it, and become blind to the arguments against it. I learned long ago, never to wrestle with a pig. You get dirty, and besides, the pig likes it. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Better keep yourself clean and bright. You're the window through which you must see the world. Beware of false knowledge, it is more dangerous than ignorance. There is no sincerer love than the love of food. Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, you will what you imagine, and at last you create what you will. You use a glass mirror to see your face, you use works of art to see your soul. A government that robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. Patriotism is your conviction that this country is superior to all others because you were born in it. We are made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. You see things, and you say why? But I dream things that never were, and I say why not? A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. Youth is wasted on the young. A fool's brain digests philosophy into folly, science into superstition, and art into pedantry. Hence university education. Take care to get what you like, or you will be forced to like what you'd get. If all the economists were laid end to end, they'd never reach a conclusion. Democracy is a device that ensures we shall be governed no better than we deserve. A gentleman is one who puts more into the world than he takes out. The worst sin toward our fellow creatures is not to hate them, but to be indifferent to them. That's the essence of inhumanity. A happy family is but an earlier heaven. The power of accurate observation is commonly called cynicism by those who have not got it. Silence is the most perfect expression of scorn. No man ever believes that the Bible means what it says. He is always convinced that it says what he means. Without art, the crudeness of reality would make the world unbearable. The liar's punishment is not in the least that he is not believed, but that he cannot believe anyone else. Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. The people who get on in this world are the people who get up and look for the circumstances they want, and if they can't find them, make them. All great truths begin as blasphemies. The great advantage of a hotel is that it is a refuge from home life. Hell is full of musical amateurs. The secret to success is to offend the greatest number of people. If history repeats itself, and the unexpected always happens, how incapable must man be of learning from experience? It is the mark of a truly intelligent person to be moved by statistics. Marriage is an alliance entered into by a man who can't sleep with the window shut, and a woman who can't sleep with the window open. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Independence. That's middle-class blasphemy. We are all dependent on one another, every soul of us on earth. Just do what must be done. This may not be happiness, but it is greatness. There is nothing more dangerous than the conscience of a bigot. Democracy substitutes election by the incompetent many for appointment by the corrupt few. We have no more right to consume happiness without producing it than to consume wealth without producing it. I enjoy convalescence. It is the part that makes the illness worthwhile. There is only one religion, though there are 100 versions of it. Life does not cease to be funny when people die, any more than it ceases to be serious when people laugh. Kings are not born, they are made by artificial hallucination. It is dangerous to be sincere, unless you are also stupid. If you cannot get rid of the family skeleton, you may as well make it dance. Lack of money is the root of all evil. We should all be obliged to appear before a board every 5 years and justify our existence on pain of liquidation. When a man wants to murder a tiger, he calls it sport. When a tiger wants to murder him, he calls it ferocity. Science never solves a problem without creating 10 more. We learn from experience that men never learn anything from experience. The possibilities are numerous once we decide to act and not react. Clever and attractive women do not want to vote. They are willing to let men govern as long as they govern men. You cannot be a hero without being a coward. Love is a gross exaggeration of the difference between one person and everybody else. There are two tragedies in life. One is to lose your heart's desire. The other is to gain it. When a man says, "Money can do anything," that settles it, he hasn't got any. The perfect love affair is one which is conducted entirely by post. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. The fickleness of the women I love is only equaled by the infernal constancy of the women who love me. Peace is not only better than war, but infinitely more arduous. Property is organized robbery. Use your health, even to the point of wearing it out. That is what it is for. Spend all you have before you die, do not outlive yourself. Every man over 40 is a scoundrel. Power does not corrupt men. Fools, however, if they get into a position of power, corrupt power. All genuinely intellectual work is humorous. Few people think more than 2 or 3 times a year. I have made an international reputation for myself by thinking once or twice a week. The golden rule is that there are no golden rules. Dancing is a perpendicular expression of a horizontal desire. In heaven, an angel is nobody in particular. A woman always chooses the man who chose a different woman. I often quote myself. It adds spice to my conversation. Old men are dangerous. It doesn't matter to them what is going to happen to the world. An election is a moral horror, as bad as a battle except for the blood. A mud bath for every soul concerned in it. Hegel was right when he said that we learn from history. That man can never learn anything from history. The first condition of progress is the removal of censorship. Life contains but 2 tragedies. One is not to get your heart's desire. The other is to get it. The love of economy is the root of all virtue. I dislike feeling at home when I am abroad. No question is so difficult to answer as that to which the answer is obvious. First love is only a little foolishness and a lot of curiosity. When I was young, I observed that 9 out of 10 things I did were failures, so I did 10 times more work. The only secrets are the secrets that keep themselves. The minority is sometimes right, the majority always wrong. Statistics show that of those who contract the habit of eating, very few survive. What we want is to see the child in pursuit of knowledge, and not knowledge in pursuit of the child. Miracles, in the sense of phenomena we cannot explain, surround us on every hand. Life itself is the miracle of miracles. The only service a friend can really render is to keep up your courage by holding up to you a mirror in which you can see a noble image of yourself. The only way to avoid being miserable is not to have enough leisure to wonder whether you are happy or not. He knows nothing and thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. When a stupid man is doing something he is ashamed of, He always declares that it is his duty. You'll never have a quiet world till you knock the patriotism out of the human race. Give a man health and a course to steer, and he'll never stop to trouble about whether he's happy or not. The frontier between hell and heaven is only the difference between two ways of looking at things. Why should we take advice on sex from the Pope? If he knows anything about it, he shouldn't. Syllables govern the world. Assassination is the extreme form of censorship. Man can climb to the highest summits, but he cannot dwell there long. There are no secrets better kept than the secrets everybody guesses. Capitalism has destroyed our belief in any effective power, but that of self-interest backed by force. Marriage is popular because it combines the maximum of temptation with the maximum of opportunity. I never resist temptation, because I have found that things that are bad for me do not tempt me. Everything happens to everybody, sooner or later if there is time enough. Baseball has the great advantage over cricket of being sooner ended. Virtue is insufficient temptation. Most people do not pray, they only beg. The man with a toothache thinks everyone happy whose teeth are sound. The poverty-stricken man makes the same mistake about the rich man. Socialism is the same as communism, only better English. Better never than late. Men are wise in proportion, not to their experience, but to their capacity for experience. He who can, does. He who cannot, teaches.